Pittsburgh Steelers general manager Omar Khan has just revealed the Pittsburgh Steelers' latest plans at the center position. So, as we all know, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they have a gaping hole at the center position right now. They've cut Mason Cole this offseason, meaning that they really have no capable and experienced players at their center position who has meaningful reps at the NFL level. They have position flexible players, but no true center. So, Omar Khan revealed the Steelers' plans. But before I get more in this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and also like the video for every Steelers update. Mason Cole, he was cut this offseason, and he played every single snap for the Steelers last season. Injured or not, he was reliable. He was on the field every single play, meaning the Steelers really didn't get to see who would even be the backup to Mason Cole if he got injured and who was reliable. They had listed Nate Herbig as the backup last season to the center position, but we never got to see the backup center play. But that's a good thing because the center spot was healthy for the most part and played every snap. But on the other hand, since he was cut this offseason, that leaves a hole on the roster. There's still a long time away until the actual season starts, so that hole could be filled really quickly, whether that's through free agency, whether that's through the draft that's coming up really soon, or whether that's through the trade market. And Omar Khan has actually spoken about this and had this to say about the Steelers center position. We are looking at everything. We have a need, but we have Nate Herbig. And we have some other players that have some flexibility, but we're going to look at everything. He has also said this: I always talk about offensive linemen. That position flexibility, that's always been important to me. We have offensive linemen that are center capable, but that's not to say that we're not going to take a look in free agency, the trade market, the draft process. There's some good players at every one of those. We feel good at the center draft. We feel good about the center free agents. He's also added this: we have position flexible guys that are starters in the league as it is, but we're always going to try to improve the team. We cut our starting center from last year. We feel good about Nate Herbig, but if there's an opportunity to bring in some good competition, we're going to do it. End quote. So, looking at Omar Khan's statement, those quotes that he has said, basically he feels very comfortable. If the Steelers have to use a center or different position from the Steelers roster right now to play that center spot, like just say James Daniels, who has played center in his career at Iowa in college, maybe if they have to play McCullum, who's a practice squad player, Spencer Anderson, who played all 5 positions during training camp, or even like he name dropped Nate Herbig. Even though he doesn't have much reps at the center spot, he feels comfortable because the Steelers like drafting flexible players who could play multiple positions. And we all know the Steelers love playing people out of position. For example, right now, they're playing Isaac Seumalo out of position. He played right guard for basically his whole career. In Philadelphia, he's playing left guard. Broderick Jones, he played left tackle his whole career. Right now, he's playing right tackle. So the Steelers love playing these players out of position. They love having players that are flexible. So if they have to play a guard at the center spot, like Nate Herbig, who is a guard at the center position, they feel comfortable doing so. And that's what Omar Khan has alluded to. And he name dropped Nate Herbig specifically. So that's who the Steelers starting center would be right now if we entered the season with no added center on the team. But obviously, we're so early in the offseason. There's still many more things to do. The draft is coming up. Free agency is obviously still going on. The trade market is still there. And the only reason why this is a story is because there has been no added center. But if there is a center added, then the story completely goes away. But as of right now, Nate Herbig is a center, so let's talk about it. Team insider Ray Filippo has also said that the Pittsburgh Steelers, Nate Herbig wouldn't necessarily have to play a full year, but thinks a guy like him could fill in for half a year at the center spot and maybe 6-8 games and whatever they would need him to do before a rookie or a free agent would take over at the center position. But he believes that Nate Herbig could be the center to start the season. So, just taking a look at this possibility of Nate Herbig being the starter for the Steelers to start the season at the center spot, because Omar Khan, he did name drop Nate Herbig, and obviously he feels comfortable if they have to go into the season with him being the starter, but he's also mentioned going to take a look at outside possibilities of adding a center, whether that's through free agency, the draft, or the trade market. So Herbig, looking at him, he was not really a center in his career. He was listed as a backup center for the Pittsburgh Steelers last season, but like I said, Cole, he didn't miss a snap in the 2023 season, meaning the team never really had to make an in-game adjustment, and Herbig spent most of his first season with the Pittsburgh Steelers as a backup, but mostly for the spot starts at guard, filling in for James Daniels or Isaac Seumalo if injuries happen there. For his career, however, Herbig, he has only logged 49 regular season snaps at the center position. Last summer, for the Steelers in training camp and OTAs and stuff like that, he logged time in the middle of the Steelers' offense line at center, but a late camp injury kind of limited his preseason reps. He ultimately recorded just 9 snaps at center, all preseason opener against Tampa Bay. But obviously, if he does have a full training camp at the center position, that would really help him moving forward at that spot and be able to play it more full time. But just looking at Nate Herbig through his career, he's a college free agent in 2019 out of Stanford. Herbig spent most of his career with the Philadelphia Eagles. Over there, he played behind Jason Kelce. Just like Mason Cole, hardly missed any snaps. So no surprise, he played a little center. In the 2022 season, he spent a year with the New York Jets, starting 2 games as a reserve at guard. The Steelers signed Nate Herbig to a 2-year, $8 million contract, and at the time, many expected him to be in the play for the starting job at guard. After they signed Isaac Seumalo shortly after, the idea quickly shifted, but they are playing him well as a reserve right now. He's earning only a base salary of around $4 million this season. One of the main reasons why he was signed, just like Omar Khan has belief in him, saying he's position flexible, can play the center spot if needed, one of the main reasons why he was signed was because the time that he spent in Philadelphia and the connections that he has to Pittsburgh Steelers assistant general manager Andy Weidl. We all know Andy Weidl is a big offensive lineman, defensive lineman type of general manager, assistant general manager, someone who focuses mainly on those positions. And obviously, he spent time with Nate Herbig in Philadelphia. He's brought in other players from Philadelphia and the people he worked with over there to the roster. And he obviously brought in Nate Herbig because of that connection. Him being around him, him knowing him, and just him being around and knowing what he could do. And obviously he feels comfortable having him on the roster. That was one of the main reasons why he was brought over alongside other people who he has brought over from the team. Those connections are key. So Andy Weidl played a big part in this, and obviously he feels comfortable, Omar Khan feels comfortable, and if the Steelers had to play him at the center spot, whether that's because of injuries or because he's starting, they feel comfortable doing so. The Steelers really haven't had a center who was reliable since Maurkice Pouncey retired a few years ago. Yes, they had fillers. They had Kendrick Green play at the center's position for that one season as a rookie, but even though he played basically every single game, he was unreliable at that spot based off his actual play on the field. And even though Mason Cole, he didn't miss a snap at the center position last season, he was unreliable as well. He wasn't a center capable player, and that's why he got cut, because every single snap seemed like he was putting it on the ground, and also he was unable to stay on balance most of the time, just like Kendrick Green as well. So even though they've had players who played full seasons at their center spots since Maurkice Pouncey, they haven't really had a reliable center which you will actually feel comfortable playing every single snap and isn't going to make mistakes and make bad mistakes that cause the game to be shifted. There were many times last season, like I said, Mason Cole put the football on the ground in terms of the snap or threw it too high, that a fumble was caused. They lost so much yardage that they just couldn't get the first down because of it. So those are game shifters, and they need someone who's not going to make those mistakes and not make the easy mistakes. Mike Tomlin always says, do your job and do it routinely, meaning that you do it to the capability every single play. So that's what they're looking for. Hopefully they get it. Whether that's, like I said, draft, free agency, trade, whatever, there's still a lot more time for them to address this position. But as of right now, if the season started, Nate Herbig is your center, and the Steelers feel comfortable if that is the case. But with this being said, that's the end of this video. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below on this topic and Nate Herbig potentially being the center for the Steelers this season. Also, who do you think they would draft if they were drafting? Are they going to take one in the first round like JPJ, or will they wait till the second round like Zach Frazier? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below about someone you would want at the center spot in this year's draft. And also, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Click that little bell down below so you never miss out on Pittsburgh Steelers news, updates, rumors, film breakdowns, highlights, reactions, everything like that. I cover it all. I'll continue to cover all, and especially coming up through the draft, every new player will be covered. So turn on notifications for this channel, like, comment, and subscribe. And until the next video, I'll see you guys all later. I'm out. Peace.